Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Isbah Khalid. I've been an English language and writing teacher for a while now, but I am an avid reader first. So what I would like to highlight in this video and share with you guys is something that I come across a lot, and I have been asked a lot, is that how did you become a reader? What makes you a reader? Why do you read so many books? Isn't that so boring? The thing is, just like with everything else in our lives, this also is a habit and it's a choice as well. So why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I grew up in an environment where nobody was a reader. I did not grow up in books, among books. And nobody in my family reads, not even my friends used to read or my teachers. So I did not have that social circle where there were books available or that there were any readers who would encourage that habit. So I remember I was 8 or 9 years old and I got this book as a gift from one of my uncles. It was a book on rainforest, and I actually memorized it because I used to read it so much. And that's where it all began. And I'm sharing this because this showed me, this highlighted something very significant in my life, because I realized that even with an absence of an environment where somebody was a reader or where I was encouraged to read, I missed out on all the children's literature, Light and etc. etc. I never read any of those books. I actually read them when I grew up, like very later in life when I was a teenager. So I skipped all that literature and just jumped onto like random books and magazines and newspapers even. So that was a habit I chose to have in my life. So it did require effort. It's not like somebody's a born reader and that you do not have a choice at any point in your life to start reading or not. So I wasn't born a reader. I chose to be one, and you can be too. The thing is that what most people do not understand when they come to me and they ask for book recommendations, or they go to anybody and ask for a book recommendation, please, you have read so many books, recommend me a book. That's not a good way to approach it. And I always ask them this question, that what are your interests? Because that's where it all begins, to be very honest. I was interested in nature and rainforests, and that book just, ignited that fire in me, and it never stopped. So always go for your interest. Like, you have Google, you can even go to a bookstore and flip a book, go to that section, pick up a genre, and flip that book, and there's a tiny summary at the back of every book where you can find out what actually is inside the book. So it's not really that difficult. You can put a subject or anything of your interest on Google and find out what books have been written, what famous books have been written, what critically acclaimed books have been written, or what simple language like books are available in the market on that topic. It could be political science, philosophy, just name it. There's book on almost everything. So it's not that difficult. It just begins, if you really want to be a reader, it just begins with an interest. You need to identify the areas of your interests. Another thing I would like to highlight is that there's a huge misconception that books actually turn you into some a different kind of a person, and that's looked upon as a very bad thing, but it's not. It requires a lot of unlearning and relearning, and that to me is growth. There are a number of books that have taught me a lot of different things, like morality. They've taught me about inclusivity, about neurodiversity, and then I proceeded on to philosophy. So you can start off small, you can start off with a very simple book, you can start off with a fairy tale even. And you will eventually find something of your interest. And the reason you are not a reader yet is that you have not found the right book for yourself. So it's a lot about exploring those options, looking at your interests, and then going out and searching for a book, instead of asking a person who already reads that, what should I be reading? That's that you should know what you should be reading. Anything that's of your interest, you should read up on that, and that's where it begins. So if you want to be a reader, it's never too late. It doesn't matter what age you are right now. If you want your kids to grow up in an environment where they are surrounded with books or are readers, why not hit a bookstore today? That's the easiest step. Just go to a bookstore and start exploring. And I hope this helps anybody who wants to start reading immediately or in the near future, or want their kids to be readers as well. And I hope that you guys find this helpful.